What is going on, everyone? Dropshot here, and we are back with another NHL video. And this time we are going to talk about the EA NHL series with the failures in the franchise, the positivities in the franchise, and the reach it will take in the future. Now, a quick disclaimer: some of these comments here are going to be opinionated, and I will state whether that it is actually my opinion. Facts will also be stated in the video as well, so I will state whether it's a fact. So let's start off with talking about the positives before we talk about the negatives. So here are some positives. Now, opinion of mine is that the NHL series has been mostly fun for me. Whether I understand how bad the gameplay is or how garbage the AI can be, I still enjoy playing with my friends on EA NHL and customizing my created teams offline. But NHL 17 was by far the most played game since it came out, at least for me, in September of last year. So another fact is that EA also does give feedback and listen to their communities with surveys and voting through email and Twitter. Now, they involve a lot with Twitter mostly, but although over the recent years they have had the NHL cover vote, the Ask NHL, and those yearly questions about the upcoming NHL game. It's basically sent through email. They ask about the NHL game and some features they may put in, and the community's Team of the Year votings. Also, here's a fact: few but some features to NHL are not included in most other sports titles, such as the customization with players and teams and the variety of ways just to customize your entire experience. And I really love the variety with the custom arena and player and team variations, and it adds a better feel when I see the differences in other teams when just playing on ESHL. And another reason is just an opinion of mine, and I just think that NHL, it's just fresh when it comes to the controls versus other sports games. And I really like the skill stick, and I like the heavy uses of the bumpers and the triggers. Now, that's comparing to other sports games that use primarily buttons controls, such as X, Y, B, or if you're on PlayStation, circle, triangle, square. And I don't know, I mean, that's just one of my opinions. That's what I enjoy about the game. And some failures for NHL. The fact is that NHL has actually removed over 40 gameplay and game mode features since their debut.
Fuck! 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 Oh!
And EA is actually just now returning to the features of 3v3 hockey, the defensive skill stick, and the between the legs deke. I'll actually show it up here on screen, and the one-handed dekes, and they're adding them all into NHL 18.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
Actually, down in the description, I have a Google Docs sheet where you can view all of the removed features throughout the series. It'll basically show what year it was introduced, and then it'll say whether if it was removed, and when it returned. Actually, they're all removed at some point, but it'll say whether it returned or returned and then left again. But anyway, another failure is the fact that the sales have declined ever since the next gen console change, at least. And on this website, I'll put that in the description as well, and it's vgcharts.com. It shows the total units sold each year, and you gotta take the overall Xbox and PS4 units sold, not just one system. But the sales have declined, and they've gotten worse and worse. And I think it's just because of the effort that they put in, and people realized how awful it is. Now, another opinion of mine is if they keep on removing and not adding new features to their game, or I should say new features, because they say they're new features and they're not actually new. Anyways, I just think that their sales and or their community will worsen in the future. But based on the current ranks that they're at and the direction of the game, the NHL series is actually doomed to fall. Also, an opinion of mine is that EA, they're just a lazy video game company, and they should add more to their game each year. Now, with a company as EA, they have to have some sort of extra resources other than video game companies, comparing to them. And engines such as the Frostbite 3.0, that's used by other several EA titles. FIFA uses it, and actually FIFA is part of EA Canada, and EA Canada is also part of the NHL. That's who helps make NHL. So I really don't understand why they can't just use their Frostbite engine or whatever. I just don't get it. But anyway, also an opinion of mine, that's a failure, is that a lot of the NHL community, they don't even realize that the features were actually once in the game and past NHL titles. And real quick, I'll just show some of the Twitter comments about that. And another opinion of mine is that EA, the NHL, they haven't lately had enough features or new features to apply innovation for the better. And most video games, they somewhat alter their appearances with yearly titles, but the graphics of NHL 16 look way identical to NHL 18. And I know it's that's 3 different titles that they could at least alter. 16 can look like 16, but 16 shouldn't look like 17, and 17 shouldn't look like 18. They should at least change more of the graphics than what they're applying to their graphics now. You can look, and NHL 18 looks exactly like NHL 17. NHL 17 looks exactly like NHL 16. They did better with NHL 15, but I just think that 16, 17, and 18 should all look different. They should all have somewhat of some graphic changes or something. Anyway, another fact, although the NHL is one of the smaller sports communities when it comes to like video games and reality overall, other games, they've been able to apply more changes into the next upcoming game, even though they're on a smaller budget or whatever. San Diego Studios, I believe, they work with MLB The Show. It has a less popular community than the NHL community, for video games that is. And they have a smaller development team, and they're making nearly as many sales as what NHL does over the 2 combined platforms. And they're not far off. Obviously they're less because it's 1 platform, not 2, but MLB is not that far off from the NHL for PS4 and the NHL for Xbox. They're not that far off from basically being tied with them. Like if MLB was on Xbox, it'd be different. It'd be completely different. But it's just crazy to think of that because they have a smaller community and less of a budget. And another opinion of mine is that the NHL video game series will never be as competitive as other sports, or other sports games, just due to glitch goals, the consistent or repetitive strategies, the garbage AI, and the bad passing. Now, although many people do actually play NHL competitively, more sports games have more competitiveness just due to, popularity and the way the games actually run. And NHL just has way too many problems in these categories, and for some reason, they have been problems for years. If you're a competitive gamer like me, this game will just frustrate you. NHL will just frustrate you because they have like ice tilt or whatever, whether it actually is or isn't in the game. Sometimes there are games where one person will have 2 shots and 1 will go in, and the other person has 20 shots and none go in. So, that happens. And I mean, it sucks, but you know, it happens. But anyway, moving on to just some speculations that you can, or at least that I withdrawed from this. I say at NHL 19, we'll finally have GM connected, but it'll be added, but you know, that's 5 years after the NHL community wanted it. I mean, that's crazy to think. 5 years? Yeah. I mean, that's speculation if they even add it, but man, they're just way behind. And the new Frostbite 3.0 engine, like many people wanted, I think that'll come up in NHL 19 too. But however, this game engine changed. It'll change into the NHL franchise, but FIFA 19 will have made it to another future game engine. And Frostbite 3.0, which was something developed back in 2013, is just not coming to a 2018 game, which it doesn't even seem right. FIFA will already probably be on Frostbite 4.0 or something else. Yeah, that's also another speculation. Another thing I'm saying, this is a very bold statement. I'm saying NHL 2K will make its first return around 2020, 2030-ish, and I just think they'll receive better sales upon their first release than the new NHL game that EA would make. And I don't know if it'll be around 2020 or 2030, but I mean, that's if 2K comes back, is what I'm saying. If 2K would come back and make an NHL game, I think that their sales would be better than the EA NHL game. I mean, I just think it will. And if that happens, another speculation I put on here is that EA NHL will no longer exist by the year 2040. That's because they don't add in enough features, they don't add in enough different stuff, they don't add in, I mean, enough, really. And it will cause it just to be non-existent. And like I said, it's just speculation. It's not saying that they're guaranteed going to be gone, but it's just a guess of mine. Anyways, if the NHL at some point has a lockout, this is another one of my opinions, at any of the upcoming seasons, then NHL will just quit making hockey games. EA will quit making hockey games. That one's another bold statement, but they're already behind enough. That doesn't mean that they'll just quit making it altogether. If there's not a hockey season, maybe they'll just stop focusing on hockey and maybe make another game or something. That's another speculation. And another one is EA NHL will feature a story mode on NHL 20, or they'll just never feature it. Like I said, speculation. NHL 19, I don't think it's going to get it because of the Frostbite. I bet they'll add in. They'll add in probably GM mode, but you know, like I said, this is all guesses basically. And another one, which is actually my last one, is that NCAA will never go to the NHL video game series. And that's because of legal reasons, and that's because, well, they just don't care enough to add in the NCAA. They already have the CHL in. So that's that. And to conclude the NHL series, it just needs to be overall more innovative and change every year. Although, they need to step up their game when it comes to producing a game each year. I just expect the newest NHL to always be the best NHL. Well, just not because of the rosters, but because of the game modes and the gameplay and overall other features. And the next NHL should include all features from the previous ones as well, and also the additional extra features. No good features should be removed from the game at all. I just expect NHL, or I expected NHL to be better with GM connected. Unfortunately, EA's making a path to put themselves into danger with the NHL series. I just expect more from EA. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like on the video. Comment what you guys think NHL is headed. And subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next video.